Niagara Falls, and sometimes it doesn't. One of the times it didn't was back in the year 1901. There it was, pouring itself all over the place, and then suddenly, without warning, honeymoon couples from all over the world stood transfixed. Who was responsible for this black deed? Who turned the tap on this great natural wonder?
That little old fall maker, me.
Yes, Snidely Whiplash.
And they said Kansas was dry.
Whiplash had concocted a diabolical scheme to undermine Canada's economy. From a travel booth at the bottom of the now dry falls.
Honeymooners, listen to me. Don't spend your money in Canada. Come to beautiful Okefenokee Swamp in the lush Florida Everglades. Don't let old acquaintance be for cottonmouths.
Scores of couples, disappointed by Niagara's inactivity, rushed to the charlatan.
No pushing. Steady there. No, sir, I'm only selling one-way tickets.
Sooner or later, word of this was bound to reach the mounted police.
Do right. All the honeymooners are going to Florida.
Tell me you are joshing, Inspector.
Oh, wish I were.
We must do something.
Right. You and Nell get married and leave for Florida in the morning. This is too good a deal to pass up.
Nell who, sir?
Nell, my daughter, that's who. Send Nell in here.
You call, Daddy dear?
You don't have to salute Nell, just stand at attention.
Ah, Nell, you grow fairer each day.
This is Nell Do-Right. I'm the inspector.
Well, you grow fairer too, sir.
Nell, how would you like to marry Dudley?
Dudley who?
Dudley Do-Right. Send Do-Right in here.
I am in here.
Oh, I think it would be fun, Daddy, especially if we honeymoon in Niagara.
How about Florida?
No, my Canadian heart is set on Niagara.
That settles it, Do-Right. Go to Niagara and undam the river. Once the falls start falling, you and Nell can be married.
Nell who?
Constable Do-Right wasted no time in getting to Niagara. He arrived just as Snidely Whiplash was making the dam even more secure than ever.
You up there! Drop that rock!
When our hero awoke, he found himself tied to a railroad track, and the 1202 was on its way.
Whiplash, you black-hearted scoundrel, what are you up to besides no good?
It's a new game called Eraser, in which I get to rub you out.
When I said the 1202 was on its way, I meant on its way to Alaska. You see, it had already passed the spot where Dudley was tied.
I don't understand it. You should have been run over by now.
Cheer up, another one will come along.
The next train's due at 1945.
Is that an hour?
No, it's a year.
Dudley was all for waiting, but Snidely wasn't one for taking things lying down. He picked up his victim and set off for the St. Lawrence River. Once there, he promptly booked passage on the first steamboat leaving for Alaska.
What you going to Alaska for?
To catch a train. Oh, and if any messages come for Constable Do-Right, tell him he's all tied up.
The steamboat eventually dropped anchor in the harbor of Nome.
Well, Do-Right, according to my calculations, the 1202 from Quebec will be pulling into Nome any second. Come, we must find a deserted stretch of track.
How about this, Snidely? This looks good.
Now, you make the choice. After all, you're going to be tied to it.
Oh, this will do fine, then.
You know something? I could like you if it weren't for your sense of justice and fair play. Why don't you rotten up like me?
Oh, I could never do that. Hark! Better stand back or I'll miss my train.
This was it then. This was our valiant hero's swan song. His future would all be past. Nevermore would his innate goodness roam the Canadian wilds. Nevermore.
Egad, methinks I feel a twinge of pity.
Goodbye, Mr. Whiplash.
Some foreign feeling beats within me heart and breast. Do I feel the pangs of guilt?
Tell Mumsy how I went.
I can't do it! I can't!
And with that, Whiplash pulled the switch, and the speeding train swerved onto another track.
You couldn't kill me, could you?
No, I suppose I'm just an old softy.
Thank you, Mr. Whiplash.
Say no more, just go. I want to be left alone to think, ponder, reflect.
I can hardly believe my ears, Inspector.
It's true. The city of Niagara condemned the dam and had it destroyed. Niagara Falls are falling.
That means Nell and I can be married.
Nell who?
Some say great comedy comes from pain. Weeknights on Coffee TV, from triple threat talent, writer, director, and actor Tyler Perry, comes House of Pain. Weeknights at 6 and 6:30 on Coffee TV.